Yo, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Xplic right here with you guys with the fourth and final part to What If Deku Had a Time Control Quirk. I know, I'm actually finishing a series, this is insane. Anyway, I do hope you guys do really enjoy this part. Again, I just want to thank Golden What Ifs for helping me start this series up, and yeah, like if you guys have any comments, suggestions, or whatever, just put them in the comments below or whatever, and if they're good, I'll put them in the list. A couple people have put in some good suggestions and they are on the list, so look forward to them. And once again, I just want to say thank you to my boy Saint. Thank you for the music. If you guys want to go check him out, that would be awesome. His links are down in the description, because he does really cool music, and that's pretty much the reason why I've got him in my videos, is the background music. As yeah, he does really cool videos, so go check him out. And yeah, just remember, God is awesome, you guys are too. Now, let's just get straight into this epic What If. Let's go! Now, before this part does start up, I'm going to have to thank Guyanese Prince. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name, but thank you so much for the comment suggestion for the hero name, which pretty much Deku's hero name will be the time hero Kronos. Now, that's a pretty cool name. Hope you guys do think it's kind of good as well. But anyway, let's get straight into the What If. As Aizawa declares that the finals are coming up, most of the class erupt in a collective groan, as everyone starts complaining that, like, it isn't really that, like, why do they have to do the finals, it's too soon, and all of that. So everyone starts complaining, as Deku, he just stares blankly at the front of the class, as he's just staring, not really paying attention to anything, as he looks like he's just staring a hole through the wall. As he stares, he's getting a sense of deja vu, like this exact thing has happened before, like he's been through this before, but he doesn't know where, like where's he seen this before, like he has no memory of any of this happening. But as this happens, and while he's thinking this, Bakugo does take notice, as he tries to get Deku's attention, as he waves his hand in front of Deku's face, as trying to get Deku's attention, as he's like waving his hand at his face. He says, "Oi, Deku, stop daydreaming and pay attention. The teacher's explaining stuff." Sorry, my Bakugo impression is horrible. But yeah, it's Deku does kind of snap like away, because he realizes like he's daydreaming. He's just like, yeah, sure, Kachan, sorry, I just got lost in thought. Yeah, well, stop getting lost in thought and pay attention, you damn nerd. Yeah, sure, Kachan. As pretty much they do end up paying attention, as the rest of the lesson goes on as normal, as everyone kind of prepares for the written portion of the exams. As everyone kind of starts fretting, and like everyone who got lower scores at least starts fretting about the fact that they might fail and that they're kind of dumb. But then as this happens, Momo does kind of suggest that they can all go to their house and do kind of classwork and study, as they're all like, oh yeah, it's a great idea. Deku's not part of this class, he's number one, like he's the smartest person in the class, because I don't know, he just seems to know all of the answers, which is insane, like, yeah. But anyway, like, he doesn't need to study or anything, he just kind of knows the answers. But anyway, so as kind of this happens, like, we kind of gonna time skip over to the finals day. As over this time skip, Deku does help his classmates train and study for the exams, and yeah, as they just get ready for it. As pretty much during the written part of the exam, like Deku just absolutely aces it, gets 100% on the exam, as he for some reason knows every single answer. As they pretty much get on the bus and go to the testing site. As they arrive there, everybody's hyped up. They're like, yeah, we're going to be fighting robots. But Deku doesn't think so. He's thinking like, no, it doesn't feel right. We wouldn't be fighting robots. As it is then revealed that they shall be fighting the teachers. As everybody starts freaking out. They're like, what? We're fighting the teachers? This ain't fair. As Nezu explains that since there has been a rise in kind of villain attacks, it's better for them to have full-on experience fighting people instead of robots. As pretty much all the teams kind of go to canon until it arrives to kind of who's fighting Aizawa, as it is revealed that Deku alone is fighting Mr. Aizawa. As Todoroki, Momo, and Bakugo are going to fight kind of All Might. It's pretty much Deku's fight is declared as he gets ready. All the other fights go to canon as pretty much everybody else kind of gets ready. As during Todoroki, Momo, and Bakugo's fight, they do kind of get stomped, but Shoto and like Momo's thinking kind of gets them to win, as they outthink All Might, and outsmart All Might. As Deku prepares for his fight with his Aizawa, as kind of the thing begins, Deku kind of just scouts around as he boosts his speed up to 3 times normal speed. As he just starts zooming around until he stops and starts running normally. As he looks up and sees a scarf coming straight towards him and red eyes glaring at him. As Deku, he goes and kind of grabs Aizawa's scarf and pulls him towards him. As pretty much they go hand in hand and getting ready, they just start fighting, but Aizawa is a master of hand-to-hand combat, or at least has more mastery over hand-to-hand combat than Izuku. As Deku, he's kind of fighting against him, but even though Deku doesn't have mastery over martial arts, he kind of just knows every move that Aizawa is going to make before he makes them, even though his quirk has been deactivated. And he doesn't know why, it's just kind of instinct. He's got Ultra Instinct. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, as he's kind of just like wondering like, why is he able to like fight Aizawa? This shouldn't be happening. He should be getting stomped. But as this happens, kind of Aizawa throws a knee towards Deku, as Deku pretty much he grabs and blocks Aizawa's knee as he throws an elbow towards Aizawa as he hits him square on the nose, causing him to blink. As Deku, he pushes Aizawa back as he screams, "Zawolda!" for dramatic effect as he stops time. As he then goes up, grabs the cuffs out, and cuffs Aizawa, then resumes time as Deku passes the test. As everybody who kind of failed the exam, and everyone who passed. As pretty much the next day, it is revealed that everyone is going to the forest training camp. As pretty much as they're revealed that everybody will be going, everybody kind of gets ready. As a few days later, everyone goes on the bus and they do kind of go for the traveling trip, and they do arrive at a lookout where they do see that kind of they can see the thing far over, like all these trees and stuff, as everyone thinks, oh, this is pretty cool. But as they look, they then see Deku jumping down into the forest. As everybody's wondering what's going on, as they see the wild pussycats, as everyone then realizes what's going to happen, as they then try to get on the bus. As they then get flung off of the kind of thing, off of the cliff, as everybody kind of falls down, as they're all catched immediately, or they're not even catched, as they're like falling, they just appear standing on the ground, as Deku has just caught them all and put them on the ground before they can fall and hurt themselves. As after this happens, kind of Mineta goes over because he needs to go to the toilet, as he then kind of gets startled by a giant monster, which is immediately obliterated by Deku. As this pretty much kind of all happens, Deku kind of helps everybody get through the kind of thing, get through the forest, as they get through the forest in about 2 hours, smashing every record, because it's Deku, because he can stop time and he's awesome. But yeah, as everybody kind of arrives, and everybody's kind of surprised, like, damn, that was pretty quick. But yeah, as pretty much this happens, Deku sees a little kid as he goes up, as he sees Koda, as he asks like, hey man, how's it going? As Koda goes in for a punch, but Deku blocks it, just thinking like, yo, this kid's a bit rude. But as this happens, kind of everybody else kind of gets ready as they all make dinner, as they settle down for the rest of the evening. For the next few days, Class 1A and all those guys start like doing their training, as Bakugo puts his hands in the boiling hot water and sets off explosions in his hands. Shoto sits in the barrel and starts forming ice. And Deku gets challenged by Tiger to fight. And you can see how that would go. Yeah. So pretty much the Pussycats are down one member at the moment, as he is in the infirmary, suffering from multiple pains. As, yeah, pretty much Tiger got put down very quickly. As for the rest of the time, he kind of helps out the others with their training, as he helps Ida with his running, and yeah, he just helps out all the students with their training. As a few days after this, like, Deku gets he starts feeling that this feels familiar. He starts getting deja vu again. Like, this feels so familiar. Like, I've seen this before. As he then gets a kind of flash in his mind of fire and smoke in the trees, and like a bunch of the students like hurt and all that, as he realizes something, as he goes over to Aizawa, as he tells Aizawa like there's going to be an attack on the training camp, as Aizawa's like, okay, sure kid, are you sure you're not being too paranoid? Like, maybe these attacks have just gotten you kind of on your toes, like. And Deku's like, oh, no, I'm pretty sure there's going to be an attack. Like, come on, sir. As pretty much Mr. Aizawa's like, alright, I'll see what we can do. As they kind of start preparing for if there will be an attack. As Aizawa's gonna preparing to get ready, as he looks and sees that there's a fire in the smoke, and like smoke and fire in the forest, as they realize like, yo, there's an attack, the kid was right. As Aizawa looks towards Deku, but he's not there. As up on the hill, Muscular prepares to kind of punch Koda, kind of smash him and smash his brains in, killing him. As he brings his fist down, his hand is grabbed, as Deku grabs his hand and blocks the attack, as he gets a flash of memories that this has happened before. This has happened multiple times before, like this attack, all of this. He's seen all of this, like, before, like, why? Why has he seen this before? As he gets punched by Muscular, sending him flying, as he's sent flying across kind of the hill, time then stops, like slows down and stops, and then starts to rewind. As Deku starts to rewind time. As all of his injuries start rewinding, everything that's happened starts rewinding, as it rewinds about 2 hours earlier. Deku, like just before the test of courage begins, Deku runs up towards like the top of a mountain, like the top of a hill, as a portal then appears, as a bunch of villains and people start walking out, as Deku puts them in the ground before they even know what's happening. Like, I can't sugarcoat this. Deku puts them in the ground. It's not a struggle. As Deku kind of puts him down and goes through the portal. As he kind of goes through, he sees a tall man in a Darth Vader looking helmet. As he sees him, as he says, "So, I'm guessing you're the one around kind of orchestrating all of this." As the man turns around and says, "I'm guessing you must be Izuku Midoriya, the man who stopped my entire attack on the USJ and kind of captured my successor." As kind of All For One starts walking towards Deku, he starts saying, "You're brave, kid. You're brave, child. However, you cannot possibly think you could defeat me. Soon, I will add your quirk to my thousands at my disposal." As he prepares to launch an entire attack towards Deku, he then feels a giant kind of piercing hole punched straight through him, as Deku pretty much stops time and punched and fast forwarded his arm so quickly that it's pretty much a bullet going straight into All For One, or a giant cannonball, as it flies straight into All For One's kind of stomach, breaking him and putting him on the ground very quickly. He got put on a plate very quickly. As All For One pretty much gets downed immediately, as Deku then kind of knocks him out and sends him towards sends him into Tartarus, dropping him off, as the prison guards, pretty much all they saw was nothing, and then the most wanted criminal in most of the world just right there in front of them, as they're like, well, that's nice. So he gets put in Tartarus, as he's kind of knocked out, as pretty much as he's kind of heading back to the training camp, he gets a flash of memories of this crying little girl, as he then kind of gets flash that he knows this, as he runs towards this giant kind of building, as he runs down and saves Eri, and pretty much he obliterates all of the kind of villains and Overhaul's henchmen, as he beats them to an inch of their lives, pretty much, as he puts them all on a plate, as he then arrives and sees Overhaul. As Overhaul, he sees Deku, and he takes off his glove and puts his hand on the ground and starts sending spikes towards Deku. As Deku, what he does, he pretty much grabs a spike, breaking it as it's forming, and goes up to Overhaul and stabs it into his foot. As Overhaul, time resumes, as Overhaul's like, "What happened?" As he's got a giant spike through his foot. As he's like, "How did that happen?" As he gets punched square in the face, sending him flying. As Overhaul's pretty much sent flying. Deku then stops time again, grabbing like that same spike that was in his foot and stabbing it into both of Overhaul's hands, pretty much enabling him from using his quirk, as he then gets put down and he sends him into next year. As Overhaul gets put down very quickly, he stomps him. As I'm sorry if I'm going through this very quickly, but there's not a lot I can talk about. These fights aren't hard. Deku puts them on a plate very quickly. As pretty much after this, Deku then grabs Eri and takes her to UA. As he arrives, he explains to kind of Nezu the whole situation of what's happening, and then he kind of just disappears again, as Nezu's just sitting there wondering what just happened. But he pretty much got just a rundown of everything, like how Eri was captured by the Chihei Hisakai, and how Overhaul was experimenting on her, and blah blah blah. Her quirk is very powerful, should be trained, and yeah, as Deku then starts running towards the kind of training camp once again, he gets a flash of his life, like his entire life, but it's different. Like some of these things he didn't done, but then he gets another flash of another life, as he sees hundreds of versions of his life pretty much how it is, but it's different, like different things that he's done, how hundreds of versions, how he's done this different, how he's done that different. Is this the reason why he's knowing everything that's happening? As he's pretty much running through time, he hears a voice ringing in his head, as he just falls down onto his knees, holding onto his head as he resumes time. As he looks up, he sees a man in a red cloak standing before him, as he can't see his face is covered by the cloak. As Deku, he just asks who are you? As the man then replies, so you're up to this point in your life already? Oh well, I guess you're not strong enough just yet. As Deku then stops time once again, as he gets ready to fight, as he runs right up to the man, preparing to punch him square in the face. As then he hears in his head, he hears the man's voice in his head. He hears it. Why can he hear it? What's this man's quirk? He stops time. How come he can hear his voice? As he hears the man speaking, your life will be on repeat. The fight will ensue. The only way to break it is to defeat you. Until then, time will reset. As Deku starts looking around, the world around him starts morphing. He's wondering what's going on? Why is everything around him morphing? What's going on? Why is all of this happening? As he sees his life, he sees his memories and everything that he's done, everything in this life, and everything that he seems to be another life, and other lives start fading away as they start just slowly kind of fading, as he starts getting younger and younger, as he's seeing all through his life, all the things he's done, everything that has happened, as he just gets younger and younger until he reaches the age of 4 years old. As a man starts speaking to his mother, well, Inko Midoriya, it seems your son has a very, very powerful quirk. It's called time control. And that is the end of What If Deku Had a Time Quirk. If you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to smash subscribe, like, all of that. And yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this. I found the story pretty good. I really did enjoy the story, and it was really fun to do. And that ending, you guys can interpret it however you like. Hopefully it was pretty obvious on what happened. But if it isn't, then well, you guys can take it up to interpretation. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this. As I said before, if you want any kind of ideas, any suggestions or ideas or anything like that, put them down in the comments, and if I like them, I'll put them on the list and I may do them later on. But anyways, that's pretty much the end of What If Deku had a time control quirk. So just remember, God is awesome, you guys are too, and I will see you guys in the next What If. Laters.